Hey guys, JH, welcome to Practice Tee. Okay, we're over in the cow paddock again today, and frankly, I actually like it over here in the cow paddock. Why? Because there's no one here. There's no balls coming at me, no one gives me a hard time. It's great. And the cows, they're not big critics. You might get the occasional moo, but you know, all in all, they're pretty good. Okay, now it's pretty tough here, guys. It's been raining and the ground is just like you wouldn't believe. But we're going to battle on. Okay, guys, what I want to talk about today is the fantastic job that Bill Phillips on MMI did with his commitment to the 5 o'clock nose. Because, guys, I totally believe, and I concur with Bill's thinking that, and Matt Gray also used the terminology that the 5 o'clock nose could be the real glue of the channel lock protocol. And I agree with that, guys. Because if you think about it, if we've got a 5 o'clock nose, and for anybody who's not familiar with 5 o'clock nose, if we have a big clock here in front of us and it's looking at us, 5 o'clock is down there. So we're looking at 5 o'clock. And we want to stay looking at 5 o'clock when we hit the golf ball. Why do we want to do that, guys? Because it's so cold here today. Why do we want to do that? And it's late, so the light may not be good. But I'm doing an audio check today as well, so I've changed the settings. So I wanted to do a video anyway. Anyway, I digress. So why do we want to have that 5 o'clock nose in place? Guys, we want to have it in place because it serves as a locker for the shoulder girdle, particularly the right shoulder. As we come down here, if the chin's back here, look, okay, it won't be that pronounced, but with Bill Phillips it was almost that pronounced. Fantastic job, Bill. I'd love to get in the position, because what Bill was doing was really blocking that trail shoulder, and he could get into this really strong impact position. If you slow Bill down coming into impact on that video, you'll see a tremendous amount of bend in the shaft off a very little golf swing. That's because he's here, guys. He can fire that trail arm. And because Bill's working on that upper arm being the firer, which isolates the hands. If you can fire that upper arm, that really does delay those hands. Now, I've never been a big lagger of the golf club because I've never wanted to jam lag the golf club. I always like to give it a free ride. But the really need to tee the ball up in this grass. This is crabgrass, guys, Australian crabgrass. It's just unbelievable. Grabs the club, stops it dead. So 5 o'clock nose. So how do we get it? Well, I think, and I said to somebody, I think it might have been Steve Walters, I said to Steve, to make 5 o'clock nose a big part of the protocol, set it as the last thing in the protocol before you go into your ignition move for the golf swing. What do you mean, JH? I mean this. Once we're here, we're ready in our protocol, just turn the head as the last thing. We set the 5 o'clock nose as the last thing. We get here, okay, just remember, 5 o'clock nose. And I'm trying to look at the ball out of my left eye, even though I'm right eye dominant. And if you look back through history, guys, all the great ball strikers have always been in this position here. There. Every one of them, with the exception of Annika Sorenstam, David Duval, and Robert Allenby. I mean, they were always early rotators, but they were unique individuals and had great talent and have done that since they were kids, so we can't go there. But 99.9% of great ball strikers have always been here. Johnny Miller, Arnold Palmer, Hogan, Snead, Nicholas, Weiskopf, everybody that's been a good ball. Jason Day, look at Rory. Now, the other thing that Bill said that may have been a reason for concern for him And that was, he said he felt a little bit of tension in his neck here. Now I can tell you guys why that's happening when you try this. Because when you take your 5 o'clock nose here, there's so much commitment to keeping it here, you'll tense your neck up. But don't do that. Get in here and soften everything. When I'm really hitting the ball good, I feel what I call the soften down. It starts from my hair, from little hair I have. It starts from the top of my head, it comes down through my forehead, my face. Face gets heavy, my neck gets heavy, shoulders, arms, everything gets heavy and it all falls. It's what I call the gravity drop or the droop. I let everything fall. Now in doing that, guys, I really take the tension out of my neck. I really take the tension out of the neck. Just feel like your neck's a piece of spaghetti. And I was saying that to Bill, if you just soften that up, because when you're thinking about keeping the 5 o'clock nose there's a lot of commitment. Well, you want the commitment, but you want it with a soft neck, and you can do it. You just think about a soft neck. So here it is, guys. This is where I want to be. I want to be here. Look what happens, guys. Look, if I keep my head back down, I do that. Look, my arms get a free ride down, past the shoulders and past the side of the body. That's the great thing. Anytime you get here and you start that shoulder girdle starts to move that way, this side loses its vertical stability here. The arms lose their free ride because the body's now blocking it. It can't have a free ride anymore. But look at this. If I go here and my head's there, look at the free ride of the arms and look at the stability in that trail vertical axis that's still there. That's the beauty of the 5 o'clock nose and the closed stance. That's the beauty of it, guys. Here, we are here. Now, even when you have a practice swing, try and have a practice swing and get, after you've gone to here, have a 1-2 count before you let the nose go forward. So we'll go 1, 2 before you let it go forward. And drill that. You might drill that 40, 50 times just to give the brain an idea of what it's supposed to do. Okay. 1, 2. Now that feels really, I don't do it. And I said to Bill, what that highlighted by looking at Bill, and when I really start to talk about 5 o'clock nose, is how much commitment we don't have, or I haven't had to 5 o'clock nose, because I certainly wasn't in that position. And Mr. Rex was saying that he had a look at a couple of my swings, and he said, JH, you definitely, you're taking a peek, or you're having a little roll with that head. I didn't think I was, but clearly I am. So guys, the drill is, take it here, 1, 2. Now what you'll do when that drill, when you're holding back, you won't be that far back in the golf swing. You won't be that far back in the golf swing, but you want to feel like you are. Now watch what happens with that lead arm when I do that. Here. See how that lead arm actually what ends up a half an arm here, because we haven't got that, that sort of that trail side rolling does that. So we really want to do that. So that's just the drill. So you'll feel this when you're drilling with the 5 o'clock nose. You'll feel that lead arm is not going far. But that's what, see the stability in this trail side here, guys. Look, here. Just do that. Do it at that speed. Here. Here. It's there, and that'll get those arms really firing out away from you. All right, guys, I'll just check the camera. So I've got a blinking light here. I'll just check the camera. I just want to check this audio because I've changed the settings today, and I'll come back and I'll hit a couple of shots.